Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and I have recovered from emotional and binge eating and a lot of other distorted eating, and for the past 12 years I have been free from any shape or form of dieting and then binging. I want to share with you, as someone who has recovered from it, what are the 4 things that I would never do as someone who doesn't binge anymore. So first of all, I would never go back to any restrictive diet. And what I mean by that is I think people confuse that diets are not just, being vegan or paleo or keto or low carb. I'm talking in general about restrictive dieting. So eating very low calories, restricting food groups or cutting them completely, not having anything off meal plan, restricting any fun foods of that nature. So any form of severe restriction is not something that I would do. I have learned the hard way that every time when I was restricting, I would be binging, within a couple of days or weeks. And that's why I stayed so long in the loop, because I just knew that after a binge, restriction was coming again. So I had to fuel myself with what I actually wanted to eat. Diets made me hungry. Diets made me out of control around food, obsess over food, created quite a bit of shame and guilt when I was binging. And I just would never ever go back to that. And I don't advise my clients to ever be on a restrictive diet. There is a world out there where one row of chocolate is not the whole bar. And in order to achieve that, you need to give yourself the permission to eat a variety of foods at all times, so that the food will lose the novelty, so that the obsession will stop, so that that craving, uncontrollable craving would stop. So no more dieting in terms of physical restriction, but also no more mental restrictions. Like, I am now at peace and I don't tell myself that I should have more, fruits or more vegetables or more protein. I shouldn't have sweets. I can only take half of the brownie. I can only have 1 slice of pizza, or I need to burn it off, or I need to earn the food. These are noises that are creating quite a bit of uncomfortable feelings that can lead to more emotional and binge eating. So physical and mental restrictions is something that I would not advise anyone and that I don't do anymore. Number 3, I don't step on the scale. I don't have a scale. I don't need one because I'm not chasing weight loss. So the only reason why I ever had a scale was because I wanted to see the number go lower. But because I'm not doing that anymore, I just don't care for it. I don't care about my body composition. I want to be in tune and how I feel in my body rather than what the number says. Because I know that there was a time, and I know why I stopped, but there was a time when the scale was dictating my mood, how much I would eat, how much I would restrict, how much I would exercise, if I was going out or not with friends. Like, it was this whole thing. So the scale is something that I have said goodbye. And if the scale is a trigger for you, and I've made another video, if the scale is making you binge more, you can watch it in another video, a bit more about that. If the scale is triggering you, you need to rethink a little bit your relationship with the scale and maybe not step on it for a while until your relationship with food is better overall. Number 4, I will never, ever be the cardio junkie that I was for years. I refuse to do anything with weights. I was a typical low calorie, no food, cardio type of a person. And, I was a member of 3 gyms, and I would sometimes go to all 3 gyms at the same time, throughout the day, so that they would not think I'm crazy. But yeah, I was just running and biking and going on the elliptical and the rowing machine, you name it, anything to burn the calories. And more often than not, to burn the calories that I was binging. Or if I planned to go out, and I was like, you need to burn a lot in order to eat later on. The problem with that was that in any scenario I was binging. I was binging because I was hungry and because I was just, starved and ravenous after those 5-6 hours of cardio that I was doing, on top of burning calories throughout the day. And number 4, and I think this is the most important one, is the mindset part. I was convinced for a very long time that I will never recover. I was doomed to look like this because I've tried all the diets, I've tried all the pills, I've tried all the laxatives, I've been to fat camps, I've done it all, and still I was not losing weight and I was binging. So for me, the message, you know, from the universe was like, you are doomed to look like this and feel like this, so just deal with it. Like, you have to be on a restrictive diet and you have to just live like this. And as someone who has recovered, I now know how much that has actually influenced more binging. Because when you think about yourself as someone who will not recover, it's so easy to stay in that zone of restricting and binging and not really wanting to step out, because here it's safe. You know what's going to happen. We're going to binge a bit and then we're going to restrict a bit and then we're going to binge it, then we're going to over-exercise. If we step out, it's like a whole new world I need to discover. I need to, you know, think about my emotions. I need to think about my triggers. I need to think about what foods I'm going to eat. And that was scary. So I have convinced myself that recovery is not possible for me, and that the easiest thing for me is to stay put, because at least here I know what are the next steps at all times and what's going to happen.